All right, so this is everything we have done for CA1, Composition Assignment 1. I'm going to start from the beginning and go through everything we have done so far. The first task was to pick your chord progression from column A. We'll call it section A. For me, I'm going to pick 1, 3, 6, 4. All right, so my one chord is C major. So put that in. We'll use whole notes again. That's my one chord. My second chord is a 3 chord, so that is E minor. Third chord was a 6 chord, which is A minor. And last was our 4 chord, which is F major. Okay, so that's my first chord progression. I don't need this measure, so I'm just going to click on it and delete it for now. We'll hear that back. Okay, that's great. We need to repeat that. So I need to add 4 more measures. I go to measure, click on the plus sign, add measure after. I need 4 more measures, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to repeat this. Hold down shift, select up to measure 4, press R for repeat. And there's my chords again. I want to bring these chords down on their own line, measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to click on it, measure 4, press enter, and then that will bring my chords down to their own line. And then from column B, I will pick 6, 1, 5, 4. So I'm going to add 4 more measures, put them on their own line. So if I click here, press enter, it will put measures 9, 10, 11, and 12 on their own line down here. For this one is 6, 1, 5, 4. So my 6th chord is A minor. Change the duration. Next one is our 1 chord, which is C major. Then we want our 5 chord, which is G major. And our 4 chord, which is F major. Okay, I'm gonna add 3 more measures because note flight gives us 1 empty measure at the end. So I'll add 3 more. Put those down on their own line by pressing enter. Repeat this, select, holding down shift, press R, repeats. So now I have my chord progression. So I have 1, 3, 6, 4 repeated. And then for section B, I have 6, 1, 5, 4. We can hear that. Section B. Okay, so now we need to add in our bass clef note. So to add in our note for the bass clef here, it's just going to be a single note, and we just take the bottom note from each chord. So here, 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 and put in the bass clef. So our bottom note for the first chord is a C. Change it to a whole note. This one is an E. E is down here. We have an A, which is here. Then I have an F, which is there. Okay, so let's repeat that. Select it all, press R, I'm going to do the same thing for bars 9, 10, 11, and 12. This is an A. Change the duration. This is a C. This is a G. This is an F. So I'm going to repeat this. Hold down Shift, select what I want to repeat, press R, and there it is. Let's hear that. Well, from the beginning. Next step is to invert our chords. So we go back up. We're going to invert the notes from our treble clef chords. So you either take a note from the bottom and bring it up an octave, or take a note from the top and bring it down an octave. So here, I'm going to take the bottom note. Oh, ayo. Okay, there. Okay, I'm going to bring this up an octave. Now, I compare my first chord to my second chord, and we look at the movements. The first top note and the second note is only one step away, which is what we want. The middle note and the middle note, there it is. It's the same. And then the bottom note to the bottom note is the same. So that's very less movement. It sounds more smooth and it's much easier to play. Looking at our second measure to our third measure, it's too big of a jump. I'm going to take the top note. Oh, remember to take a note and bring it down an octave. You press Control and then either down or up arrow. So here I'm going to bring it down. So I press the down arrow. Okay, so we always analyze our top note to top note is right beside each other. Middle note to middle note is right beside each other. Bottom note to bottom note is the same. That's what we want. And then looking at our third measure to our fourth measure, top note is the same. Middle note is the same. Bottom note and bottom note is right beside each other, one step away. So that looks good in my chord progression that I chose. I'm going to repeat it. So let's do the same thing for section B. So this is a huge jump. So what if I take the top note, bring it down? Okay, it's too big of a jump still. I'll take the bottom note from here, bring it up. So now, if we analyze the difference between the first chord and the second chord, well, top notes are the same. Middle notes right beside each other. Bottom note is the same. This is okay, but we can make it more closer together. If I take the top note, bring it down, analyze that. Top note to top note, one step away. Middle note to middle note, same note. Bottom note to bottom note is one step away. It is pretty close, but we can make it even closer. I'll take the top note, bring it down, Control, down arrow. Let's analyze that. Top note to top note, one step away. Middle note to middle note, one step away. Bottom note to bottom note, one step away. So I like that, so we repeat it. Press R. So we listen to that. Okay, so that is called inversions. When you either take a top note of a chord and bring it down an octave by pressing Control down arrow, or you take the bottom note and bring it up an octave by pressing Control up. Melody line. So for this one, we're going to do a violin. So I go to parts, add part. A violin is a bowed strings. So I click on violin, press OK. We want the melody to always be at the top. So I click here and just, you can drag it up and it will go there. Or you can click and just hit the arrow and it will bring it up. So this is our melody line. So the rule for this is we're going to use half notes. The note that falls above the chord has to be one of the notes in the chord. We call this a chord tone. And then the second note in the measure can be whatever you want, but as long as it sounds good. So let's add in our violin. I will pick a C because the C, this note, is in the chord. And we're going to use half notes. So half notes is up here. So this one, you can pick whatever sounds good. So let's just try this. And then I'll move on to the second measure. It has to be one of these notes. I can pick a B. This one can be whatever sounds good to me. So I'm not just going to put in random notes on the second note of each measure. I want to listen to it to make sure it sounds good. So let's hear that. Okay, not bad. Don't be afraid of repeating something because, again, you want the listener to kind of get a use of the melody. You don't want it just to be random all the time because, then the ear doesn't really know what's coming next. You want the ear to be used to something. So if you hear this. Okay, so here I'll do something different. It has to be one of these notes. What if we go down? What if we do a C? Make sure it's half notes. I can go down here. Remember, the second note of every measure can be whatever you want. And then here has to be a chord tone. Let's pick A. Make sure you always listen back because the second note, there's actually no rule. It's up to you. This is okay as long as it sounds good to you. Let's hear it back. I'm not convinced about this one. So if you want to change the note, you can just simply click on it and use your up and down arrows. Right? You can change the pitch of it. What if we just keep going down? Okay, what about this? Of course, I need to hear it back. Not bad. I'm still not convinced. I need to hear it again because there is a note in my head that I think will sound better here. Na, 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 na. Let's figure it out. Let's hear it. So this note was in my head. I felt like it should go ba-na. Forget my... Yeah, that's what I heard in my head. It sounded good to me. Let's double check. Again, always play back. Whenever you're writing something, please don't just put in random notes. Always play back, play back, play back. Make sure it sounds good to you. That's the most important part. Hear it again. Yeah, that sounds great to me. So, we want our melody line not to be repeated that much. I would say change at least 2 notes. Well, I can be kind of a shortcut, and then repeat this. and then I will listen back to it and then change something, maybe around here. So let's hear again from the beginning. This note I want higher, right? Because we already established this ba na 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 na. So I'm thinking this note, maybe this note here could be higher. Again, it's not over a chord, so it doesn't have to be a chord tone. Try this. I can just play it from here. Nope. Again, trial and error. When you're writing a song, always play back. Just do not put in random notes. Make sure it sounds good. Okay, so this is a nice big high note. So I'm going to change this one. Well, what options do I have? I have an E, an A, and a C. Bring it up to an E. Let's play from here. Okay, not bad. This one needs to change. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Great. So I only changed a couple notes. Let's hear from the beginning. It gives us it's the same theme, but we're just changing a couple notes just to make it a little bit more interesting. Chords you're allowed to repeat over and over and over again. Melody, at least change a couple. Okay, I like that. Moving on. So section B, we're going to put in a chord tone. So it's got to be either E, an A, or a C. We'll probably go to an A here. Remember, the melody has to be half notes. Here I can do whatever I want. So why don't we let's do a nice perfect fifth. So remember in class I said perfect fifths are nice interval jumps. So going from a space, skipping a space and going to the next space, we call that a perfect fifth. That's a nice melody interval. Interval means the distance between notes. Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, whenever you're in doubt, do a perfect fifth jump. Don't actually go higher than that. It is quite a big jump, but human ears really like going from the note to going up to the fifth. So if this is on a space, you're going to skip a space and go up to this one. So what do we have here? We can go to a C, because C is in the chord. Make sure they're all half notes. We'll go here. Oh, no, can't do that. Undo. It has to be this one. What if we do another perfect fifth interval? So if this is on a line, you're going to skip a line and go to the next line. And then what note do I get to do? So if this is a C, this is also a C. Right, so if this is a C is also here. So that's why I did it here. That's allowed because it's the same note. It's just a different octave away. Let's hear this. That sounds good to me. So let's just repeat this melody line. Press R for repeat. We do need to change it a little bit. You don't want your song to be too repetitive in the melody. Remember, the melody is like the main part of the song. That's why it gets stuck in your head. So we don't want to be it over and over again. It will get boring. So let's take this note. So what am I allowed to use? I'm allowed to use a D, a G, or a B. Let's go up to this D. That sounds like. Okay, maybe this last one is a bit too high. Okay, make sure we hear the whole thing from the beginning. No, I do not like this G. So if you want to change a note, click on it, press up or down arrow. Probably here. Okay, so in this lesson, we're introducing rhythm. So a nice rhythm instrument is called a bass. So it looks like a guitar has 4 strings. It's longer. It plays lower notes. So let's add that. A bass is a plucked stringed instrument. We'll go electric bass. Press OK. So the bass is going to use whatever your piano bass clef note is, but we're going to change the rhythm a bit, give it a bit more groove, we say in music. Give it a bit more beat, I guess. So I'm going to click on bass. Well, we need a C. This one, we're going to change the rest. So make sure you're out of edit mode, click on the rest, and let's go up to duration. And just like you can change the duration of a note, you can change the rest value. So let's change it to a eighth note rest. Click on the rest, the second rest, and put another C. You notice I'm always clicking over here to get out of edit mode, because if you're in select mode, you can select whatever you want to manipulate or change. I want to change this rest, change it to eighth note. So I always click over here. You can see my mouse, because I want this rest to be there, but I want to change this into a note. So this is my rhythm. We have a quarter note, eighth note rest, quarter note as a note, eighth note rest. Oh, sorry. Eighth note, note, eighth, and then eighth note rest, and then an eighth note. So this is our rhythm. Okay, so you're gonna do that same thing for following the bass clef of the piano. So here, I'm gonna pick an E. You see I'm always clicking over here to get out of edit mode, right? Click on this, change it to an eighth note. Click over here. We want this eighth note rest to be there. So I'm gonna click on the second one, make it an E. Click on the rest, change it to an eighth note. Click on the second rest, make it an E. And that gives us our second rhythm. So you see the rhythm is the same. quarter note, eighth note rest, eighth note, rest, eighth note, quarter note rest. But we're still following the notes in the bass clef of our piano. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Whoops, I didn't get out of edit mode there. Okay, now I'm good. Wrong note, bring it down. So we can hear that. Okay, so for the bass, we can repeat it. So let's grab everything we want. Oh, edit mode. Press R. Now I'll bring it down. So for measures 9, 10, 11, and 12, this is section B. We're going to do a different rhythm. This one is going to be quarter note rest, 2 eighth notes, followed by a quarter note rest. Okay, so this is the rhythm for our bass for section B. So the shortcut I showed you in class was just repeat this. So press R. Okay, but we need to change our notes to the notes in the note in our piano bass clef. So if we want to do that, I just click on the note and I can use my up and down arrows to match the pitch of our piano bass clef. So click here. Oh, it's the same rhythm, but now we're matching the note of our bass clef of the piano. Let's repeat that. Press R. Okay, we need to match these. I'll bring it down. Okay, repeat that. Match the note of our bass clef. So click on the note, bring it down. Okay, looks good. Let's repeat it. I select all by holding down Shift and clicking on all the measures I want. Press R, and you can see it just repeats it there. Hear the whole thing. All right, so that is what we have for our, I guess, second week of you composing your own chord progression song.